what we can start with, again, we'll go into our scene settings before we forget and drag our data pool scene plugin in there. So into the background there in our scene settings. Let's go into our server. We'll grab a font here, and we'll also drag some type of geometry down here. Let's use the Torus. And I'm actually going to group the Torus into a new group. And actually, let's copy this text too. So just for placement wise, let's just go into our text and throw a number in there so we know where to place it. Let's place it in the top left, and we'll go into this text as well and just put a fake number in there for the time being and move this over to the right just for some placement. We'll drag a material onto our Torus. All right, and let's say we want to track a parameter from this Torus. So let's go into our data pool plugins here. First thing that we will do is add our data text to our two text fields here. We'll worry not about our naming convention just yet, but let's set everything else up. So I know I want to track the position maybe, or a rotation or something like that, but we also want to track a parameter as well. Let's go ahead and animate our Torus here. So we'll move this on the position here again, just on the X, just like we did before, just to not confuse us too much. It's okay, I have a quick animation here on my Torus. So what we'll do is we'll add the object tracker to our name here, and we'll say this is for pause, and we have our format here, position, and we'll set it to X. So let's set this text to pause. So that's going to receive the data. And we also want to track a parameter. So we'll drag a data parameter onto the Torus. We'll go ahead and give this a name right here too. And just so we know what we're talking, we'll just call this par. And we'll also add a parameter tracker on here and give it the field name par as well. And our other text variable here will get the par field name. Now our object tracker should be all set up, but we still need our parameter that we want to name here. We need a parameter name. So in our Torus, we need to figure out what it is we want to track, or what parameter we want to track. So again, if you use this little trick, if you left click and drag over anything, you can find out the naming parameter here. So let's change the radius of the Torus, which is named radius Torus. So we can go back into our parameter, and under the parameter name here, we'll type in radius Torus. And our parameter tracker here under our parameter name will be radius Torus. And our parameter type here is geometry. And just make sure our parameter type in our data parameter is set to geometry as well. Okay, so we should be all set to go. When we hit play here, we should notice these numbers change. So we'll go ahead and we hit play, and we notice that changes our position. So we hit play again, you can see that the position changes. Now we also need to affect the Torus's radius. So if you want the text to receive it, we could animate the radius Torus by doing this, and when we do that, you can see how the text changes. Or we could come in to the particular name of this data parameter, which is par, and we can go into the scene settings and type par equals 100 or par equals 1, and you can see how that affects it as well. So whichever way you really want to do it, it's kind of using the same theory, but just kind of setting up your scene a little bit different.